weather woman. And what's up, everybody? Good morning. I hear snoring. That means Hunter is on my lap. Look at that. Look at that. The song ended right when the timer did it. That means it's going to be a good day. Good day. It's our second Tuesday of the year. We started streaming live weekly last week. So here we are. It's Tuesday. Taco Tuesday, we call it. In the Boylan House. And yes, we're going to tacos tonight. Oldsmar Tap House is our little local joint. And we're excited about that. So, except for Hunter. So, hey, what's up? This is the Daily Brew here. We appreciate you joining us. We talk about the weather. And we talk about tropics, obviously, when it's the tropical season. We got a blob off of Texas. We're going to show you. It's right above me right here. Texas blob of 2022. Texas had that big tornado last night in western Texas. I'll show you that one here in a second. Let's say hey to some folks. What's up, Mimi? Go Bolts. Yeah, it was an exciting game. 0-0 till the end. Jerry Coe. Mimi, what's up? I saw that. Yep. Heather from Naples, Sherry Baker from Orange, Texas. How close were you to those tornadoes yesterday? That was a big one. Everything's bigger in Texas. What's up, Sherry Baker from, I already said that. Man, that's, you just got BOGO, Sherry. BOGO call-outs. I saw my buddy Eric. Man, Eric, you had a big lightning bolt last night at home. I saw that on your camera. That was a big one. Everything's big today on Tuesday. What's up, Keisha? Good morning. Mary says hello, Hunter. John Ferguson, what's up, bad buddy? I heard Shelly got you hooked up on your app. I read that's great. Everybody eat tacos tonight. Kara says, your 5-year-old. Hey, Kara's 5-year-old. We'll get Hunter a little closer for you. How about that? We'll just let Hunter steal the show. Look at if I had a dog face, that's what it would look like. Look, we'll just strategically get behind Hunter here. And we'll just have him point. Over here, we got this. Here's Shelly. What's up, Shelly? What's up, Tiki from Texas? Another Texas. What's up, Texas? Harold. Man, I remember watching Harvey with our Texas followers. That was the Blue Shed. Who could forget that, right? With Jeff Petrowski. Yeah, sorry about your Panthers, Mary. Richard Reamer, what's up? Fred, good morning. Scott, Donna, Rhonda May. Mary says she loves you, Hunter. Sure you got the BOGO. What's up? All right, well, hey, let's talk weather. We look like twins. Oh, my God. Don't ever get me Louie next to me. Then we'll definitely got trouble. All right, so we're going to put him down. He probably will sleep on me. This is my best buddy in the world. I never really liked little dogs, but now I do. Isn't that so cute? All right, so let's talk about weather. So I had a funny post last night. Even ABC chimed in. Big thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits here. We did a little drinking post last night. I didn't say nothing about alcohol. I just said, hey, what are you drinking right now? We had like 1,000 comments in 10 minutes. It was crazy. ABC today responded, but that was fun. I always post sometimes wild stuff at night. What's up, Gail? But big thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits for supporting us. As always, 85 years old here in the great state of Florida. They're big supporters of our page. We really appreciate it. We got a lot of great supporters. over the years. I'll flip a little box up there. You can take a looky at them. And we'll get right on it. So, hey, let's take a look at a couple things. Marcy, well, thank you for the stars. All right, so let's take two things. First off, today, I don't want to forget this. So, NOAA today, Tuesday, they're going to announce their big Atlantic hurricane season outlook today. Taco Tuesday, today. So, that's always big news. You'll get a lot of, cheers, by the way. You'll get a lot of chatter about that when that comes out. So that comes out today. That'll be their official early season forecast. Suspect above average season. The UK Met. I didn't share it yesterday. I probably should have. I couldn't find a good graphic, but the UK Met office came out yesterday with their predictions, and they predicted above normal season. So the official forecast, the one that everybody really gets going on, comes out today at 11 o'clock. So I'll post that for sure. You can count on it. We'll see what they say. But I almost guarantee, bet money, they're going to announce an above-average season based on warmer SSTs and La Nina. So that'll be a highly anticipated outlook today at 11. So that's big news. That's coming out at 11. Sorry. So there you go. You got that out of the way. I just want to make sure you got that. It's going to be 11 a.m. Tuesday the 24th. All right. What else are we doing? All right, real quick. Morton, Texas. This is where that big tornado was yesterday. I don't know if you saw it online. Holy cow, man. It was a monster storm. But that's where it was. People were asking me what part of Texas. That's, luckily it wasn't a very populated area. So that was a little tidbit. Big tornado. I shared it last night. But this is what we're looking at. Look at this morning. Let's leave this up here right now real quick. This weathernerds.org. Let's pull it up. Give them some credit. Weather Nerds. Let's leave it right there. So there is a big old, kind of attached to a frontal line. We're going to have storms I have to show everybody for tomorrow in the upper Gulf Coast. This is all tied to the same system. But, kind of how things start early in the season. You never know. It's been a tradition of ours here on the page. In fact, let me pull it up here. We have a shirt, blobs and spinach. We get so many of these blobs early in the season that I made a shirt a couple years ago, and it's the truth. We get these blobs that come out down into the Gulf. The Gulf's starting to warm up a little bit, and hey, you never know. You never know. It was enough that we made a shirt. So I have a pair of blobs on there. Not to be confused with a word that sounds like blobs, but anyway, it's fun. But we're going to watch this blob out in Texas. It's interesting, right? I even saw Jim Cantori talk about it this morning. There it is. It's on Weather Nerds. You can see the mesoscale FCV, MCV thingy, they call it. This is basically a big old glob of thunderstorms. A lot of lightning, though, in South Texas happening. These little white dots are lightning. So, hey, let's keep an eye on it today. You just never know. There's a rainbow satellite imagery, lots of bubbling cloud tops. We'll see if this convection can maintain itself. There's really no signs of any rotation or any surface flow. So these things take a long time to develop if they're going to develop into anything. Normally you would see some sort of rotation, but you don't. So it's probably just a blob. But I'll keep an eye on it. I'm going to watch it. I always do that. This is why we're talking about the tropics here on our page. It's the time of year we watch every little thing. So right now, it's just a blob. Brian checking in from Key West. Good morning, man. What's up, Jim Parker? What's up, Vicky Hill? Carrie? Denise Hill should have sound, but you didn't hear me say that. What's up, Dale Kindberg? How's my buddy doing? We need to get a beer sooner or later. Jeannie Bayless, good morning. Morning from Okeechobee. Somebody chimed in from Okeechobee this morning and said y'all need some rain down there. For sure. Good morning there. Oh, hey, Gail bought her ABC Hard Mountain Dew. Isn't that this? I love that stuff. Should be illegal. Chris, I don't know where that blob's going, honestly. I kind of know where it's going. We're going to show you that right now. So there is a little bit of tropics to talk about. Man, that Mountain Dew stuff, oh my goodness, that stuff should be illegal. It is the most amazing. I like seltzers, no sugar. But man, they taste like the real thing. All right, so let's talk about the tropics real quick. All right, so the blob, really have no idea where it's going. It's one of them deals that you got to watch it in real time. It might fizzle out. Now, here is the deal today. Let's look at real quick, just showing you Storm Prediction Center. So they got enhanced up now. This wasn't up this morning. Pretty good little area for tornadoes here for Texas, extending into Louisiana northward there, a little bit Oklahoma and Arkansas. So could be a tornado watch. Outside threat here, we get a little something on the East Coast, so keep an eye out for that later today. Tomorrow's storm outlook, pretty much frontal line boundary. It's going to be draping itself here, and then on Thursday, a little bit more eastward push. So you can see what's happening. It's just kind of a stalled front that's happening right now. You'll see it, and then we're going to talk tropics. Here's your draping front. This is just a big old lingering warm. Sometimes these warm fronts, once they turn into warm fronts, sometimes they can produce a little bit more storm activity. So there you go. There's a stalled out frontal boundary, and it's pretty much going to just linger here for the next couple of days. So let's fast forward in time. Here's Wednesday. There it is, kind of doing a weird little snaky thingy. Here's Thursday. Another front kind of comes down, gives it a little final push. So there's our rain Thursday. Could be some rain, maybe some storms there again for the upper panhandle northward. Friday could get a little close. We talked about this yesterday, and it's panning out. It looks like this front's going to push through on Friday. Could be some rain down into Florida all the way up the East Coast. Really juicy setup. Now look at this. Saturday, it could start to sneak out of here. It is. That's what we like to see, consistency. Little lingering rains down in Florida. Now check out Sunday. Beautiful. So, stalled out front today. Gets a little kick tomorrow, a little push through. And that's the story. So if you're wondering, you got big high rain chances here on Thursday. Setting up as our next frontal line comes through. So there you go. That makes sense, right? But as far as tropics go, let's take a look. So NHC has this orange setup now. And we'll go to 5-day. There's 5-day. All right, so there's your 5-day outlook. And we'll just click it on this guy. So there you go. 5-day outlook. So this little guy's up to 60%. Tracy loves it. Good. Derek said he got hammered in Corpus Christi. I believe it. Man, that sucker was violent last night, I bet. Just rolled off. Hey, John, I think today is National Bike Day here somewhere I read. Everybody's got tacos on their YouTube thing, too, by the way. Kelly from St. Pete, what's up? How's it going? Tallahassee, David Lewis. Met a lot of great folks up from up there at the Governor's Hurricane Conference that were EOC folks. Tim, yeah, they're very random. I apologize. I don't know who gets them. Mary, good morning. Kenneth Glass, good to be back to the grind. Tracy, thanks for the stars there. Chris says the blob. All right, so we're caught up. All right, so here's the big tropics news. All right. This little guy is very, 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 very likely to develop. Now, drama, drum roll, hype the mic. No, mic the hype. I'm not hyping anything, I promise. However, I teased it yesterday in our Brew Crew chat room, by the way. And I woke up this morning and I'm still seeing it. But there are some signs that we could see this turn upwards into the Bay of Campeche. So let's talk about that. All right, let's go to chocolate tidbits. A couple things real quick. The cruise. I talk a lot about the cruise. Apparently, I wasn't clear enough about our 100 cabins that we booked. We have our price locked in. That was not. I haven't been saying that enough. So the cool thing is we put a deposit down on 100 rooms so that our price is locked until they're gone. So if you're thinking about going, look, get the deposit in. It's fully refundable, but the price is locked. Otherwise, there's going to be fuel charges likely to come, and everything's going to get more money. So that's the good news. But it's fun. I got a link on there. Shameless plug. We'll talk about it later, but I just want to get out of the way because a couple people didn't know that we had a locked-in price that's good for our 100 cabins. before the price goes up. So anyway, it's going to be fun. All right, tropical tidbits. This is going to be cool. We got a lot to look at. All right, so let's take a looky here at these are your normal operational models. Show you the consistency that we're going to see a storm in the Pacific. Then we're going to talk about what could happen in the Bay of Campeche. Peachy. Is it Peche or Peachy? Come on. I need somebody that lives in that area of the world because I sound kind of silly. It's not peachy. I just like Georgia and I like peaches. Good morning, Yohel. Sorry about your Panthers, buddy. I was thinking of you last night, actually, Yohel. Sorry about that. All right, so let's take a look at the first storm of the possible year here, with our Pacific. And what would the name be? I have no idea. I don't even know if my name list up here lists Pacific names. Eastern North Pacific? Is that? I don't even know. Agatha? I think it's going to be Agatha. Agatha! What the heck? Agatha. Pacific Storm Agatha. Coming. All right. Just show you the consistency. GFS. Boom. This is Friday. There she is. There's Agatha. This hangs there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, so there's Agatha. Could be potentially a hurricane, 961. Now, that's a GFS. We all know the GFS is a little slow to the season here. It's peachy. I love peachy. Tammy, thank you for the stars. Denise Hill doesn't like the Bay of Campeche, but hey, it's a little early for these. Well, the lightning peaking at the right time, Yohel. They didn't start out too hot, but they sure got a peak at the right time, man. All right, so here's the euro. Here, let's see what the euro says, and we will go to Friday. They're not showing much, actually. That's interesting. Well, it is a little later development. Here's over the weekend. There's our system 987, a little bit farther to the west, and it's kind of doing that little pull up. I'm just teasing you that we could see a little crossover action here in the Bay of Campeche. All right, so the euro is a little farther west. This time frame would be next Sunday, Monday. The GFS is a little faster, and it's a little farther to the east, and this is going to be more about a day earlier. This is Sunday morning. The Canadian model, this is Sunday morning, and kind of pulls it up a little bit, kind of lingers it down there a little bit. There's our next tropical wave. CMC developing something out of the blue here. We'll worry about that later. But so there's CMC. This is next Sunday, Monday. And then the icon, which I like. Here's the icon for Sunday, 982. And very good confidence. This is going to pull up, and we'll see where it goes. This only goes out to Tuesday. So, we got folk down here in Mexico. Very likely we're going to see at least a tropical storm, maybe hurricane, bending upwards this weekend. So it's kind of sneaking up on us. Today's Tuesday. So I know we had people chiming in thanking me for that. So so there's that. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on here in the Gulf. Let's just fast forward to just tropical tidbits, by the way. We're going to go a little closer here to the ensembles and take a look at what they look like. And we'll see how many suggest the possibility of a crossover. All right. So here's the GFS ensembles. These are from Sunday. There's all your little points showing possible storm, named storm, possible hurricane. And as we go in time, we'll go to like Wednesday next week. There's a handful of ensembles here. There's a handful of low pressures here. So possibilities there. Last night 00Z. Yeah, showing possible pull north, a few little ensembles here in the Gulf. Not high likelihood, but definitely the pre-stages of maybe something to watch. Here's the Euro. This is next Sunday. There's all your little ensemble members. And then Sunday, look, we're starting to see a few get popped up to the north here. Just a few. Quite a few, actually. So you just never know. This is next week. This is next Tuesday, a week from now. Something to keep an eye on. There's no guarantee at all. But, that's what we do here. We like to look ahead and see. So, again, highly likelihood Pacific, very likelihood this thing turns up and impacts somebody in Mexico over the weekend. Then all our eyes are going to shift on this possibility that this thing turns a little bit to the north and goes into the bay. So there's no, we just like to look at the future here. There's, areas to watch. Here's, this is next Thursday. There's our low pressure spot in the bay. This is from the crossover on the Euro. No, there's no guarantee. Just like I said, just something if you like to look ahead at what possibly could happen, then that's what we're looking at. And here's the GFS kind of showing you the same thing next Wednesday. And then after that, here's the GFS doing one of its little things here. This is next week, following weekend. Not really too concerned, except I don't like that word concerned. Scratch it, rewind. I hate that word concern this early. I don't know why I said it. Darn it, Mike. I'm turning into hyper. Not concerned. The only reason I mention that is that the CMC is showing this little low pressure system kind of pop out of nowhere. Now, it's hard to tell really where it comes from. But low pressure in the Canadian, this is next 9 days from now. GFS kind of showing the same thing. So, just keep an eye on it. Not concerned. And there you go. So listen, seriously. Mexico, we got people watching. So I'll do a little report on that here after the show. And we'll post all these landfall possibilities. This is next Monday. This is next. That was Monday in the CMC. This is the Euro for. So Euro. All right. So here's next Monday morning. Canadian pretty darn close. Right here, Monday morning. GFS, a little farther south, a little quicker. This is Sunday night. And the icon, close. So it's, again, high probability. So there you go. This is next Sunday night. So pretty good little range here of a potential storm, possible hurricane impacting this weekend. All right. So there's that. All right, so we're going to look at that. We got, we got some other models to look at. Remember, tropical outlook from NOAA gets announced today at 11. That's T-minus 1 hour and 16 minutes. All right, let's take a look at the European ensemble list, individual spaghetti. Because we know that we're not going to give the GFS any love right now. All right, so here we go. This is your GFS or European ensemble. Here's 5 days out. There's our general area for storm. You can see the general pole to the north, May 31st. And then, long range, go to 10 days. There's a handful. And, go 12 days is kind of irresponsible. But you're seeing this general thinking here that we could see something pop into the bay. So I'm just going to leave it at that. That's all I got to say about that. So right now we're not really looking at anything. There's a blob out in Texas. Got a frontal line developing. Let's look at tomorrow's rain. This is interesting. I was looking at this before we went live. So here's kind of what we got going on right now. So if we want to look into the future, here is the blobby mess today leading up till tomorrow. And then pretty hefty little line here tomorrow. This is Wednesday night. So this could be interesting. Not showing anything with that blob. This is tomorrow. We'll see what that does tomorrow. So there's your Canadian. This is later tomorrow night into Thursday morning. This could be overnight. Pretty hefty little line here tomorrow night, tomorrow evening. This is tomorrow on the CMC. This is tomorrow on the GFS. And this is tomorrow on the Euro. And as we've mentioned before, it could make its way down to Friday. Here's Friday on the Euro. Here's Friday on the GFS. and here's Friday on the Canadian. So pretty good consistency. We got this frontal line pushing its way eastward and should be out of here by the weekend for most people. All right, going back to the tropics real quick, I wanted to make sure I point this out. This is they updated it. No, they didn't update it. So we have this area here coming. This is all part of the MJO wave. And this is first part of June. This is the end of May, first part of June, into the middle part of June. Now, it's a pretty good little cycle here that's developing out in the Pacific that's going to slide its way to the Atlantic. This is sometimes really enhances tropical development if we had any planted seeds. When we're in an enhanced MJO cycle, you see more convection, especially on the satellite imageries. When we're under green, basically, you see a lot of green, meaning rain. But you see a big convective burst, more convection developing, and this is a good little 2-week spread here. So I got my eye on that, as any potential development that tries to get going will be enabled by this passing of the MJO. So seeing some people talk about that, definitely a real thing. It's over a course of about 2 weeks. And this is the whole region here, Pacific and Atlantic and the Gulf. So we'll see. That's just one little aid. And of course, we talk a lot about the water temperatures are warming up. We know that. Current temps here on Bay News 9. Let's take a look at this one. This is a cool graphic because it really zooms in on the temperatures. But we're already at 80, 81, 81, 82, 82, 82, 82. So there's your water temperatures warming up. Obviously, an anomaly map showing you that we are a little bit above normal this time of year. And it's, just kind of showing, this is our weekly anomaly map showing that we are, let me set settings here. We'll go to US and then we'll go to data values, and we are about 4 degrees. See, this is degrees above normal for this time of year. So we're averaging 2 to 3 degrees above normal right now. These little redder areas are like 4 degrees, 5 along the coast. So water is a little warmer than normal in the Gulf of Mexico. In the Bay is about 2 degrees, so a little more fuel than normal this time of year. So, and we're seeing that with this convective burst coming in off of Texas right now. We saw that with Invest 90. How about that? Invest 90 was a surprise little system that popped up out of that cluster of storms over the weekend, and man, it created some serious havoc yesterday along the Northeast as it went up through Carolinas and Georgia. So that was all Invest 90. We had storms across the upper Gulf down in Louisiana eastward yesterday. We had a funneling in of the tail of Invest 90 yesterday. A lot of storms. So that was a sneaky little last-second invest, and that was all from that tropical juice we talked about from last week that got pulled up into the Gulf, and it was our tropical wave. Could be seeing the same signs of that again next week that GFS and CMC are picking up on. But we'll have to wait a few more runs. But again, going back to what I just mentioned, the end of next week here, Canadian, not too bad. I mean, it's, Canadian, not too bad of a model, but it, like I said, it's kind of showing a little system here next Wednesday, Thursday, as is the GFS, but we're not too concerned about the GFS, that's for sure. So just really more focused on what might happen here in the Bay, because we've had a lot of crossover systems, early season stuff in the past. Tropical juice. All right, so what else can we talk about? Sheila says there was some nasty wind in Tallahassee. Definitely yesterday got a lot of storms. Let's go to Twitter while we chit chat and see if there's anything new. Weather news, fire outlook today. NOAA, here we go. NOAA announced their outlook. Let's retweet it. Let me, how do I retweet? Right here. All right, quote retweet. So Big announcement today at 11 a.m. EDT. Eastern Daylight Time. All right, that's cool. Can't forget that. Then I'll take my nap. Don't tell Julie. Get up so dang early with the kids. All right. Okay, we got some chit chat about the water temperatures. Had a good lightning storm last night coming home. We're starting to see these little pop up. Let's look at some future radar here. So we're keeping an eye on the blob. Not sure really what's happening down there. There's another little line coming in off of Texas here. Check this out. Let's look back at Weather Nerds. This little guy right here is setting up right there. Look at that little one coming through South Texas. So they're definitely getting hit pretty good right now. As a matter of fact, let's take a looky at Texas radar right now real quick. Zoom in a little bit on Texas. See what they got cooking. Because it looks pretty gnarly out there, southern tip of Texas. All right, so let's get over here to Texas. Texas. Nope. That's not Texas. That's Texas. Brownsville. All right, so let's zoom in. And here we go. All right, so the Brownsville getting it right now. There you go. There's that heavy-duty line coming through right now. Lots of lightning, I guarantee it, through there right now. Let's put it in rotation, see what it looks like. Let me wind up a little bit. So we'll just leave this on for a second while we chit-chat. Let me slide it over here a little bit. So there you go. Live radar. How about that? So we named our first tropical wave Alf. We joked about it last week. We said if anything comes out of that thing, we'll name it Alf. So I guess technically we did get something out of it. Invest 90. Hey, Stephanie Stokes. Yep. So our kids got 2 more days. Thursday they're done. God, I can't not believe it. Emily's going to be a junior. Joe Harrison. That lead guitar is hot for Louisiana man. Bet you didn't see that coming. All right, so what else can we talk about? I'm going to cut it short today. I don't know. I ramble on. There's the Juicy in the Golf. Don't know, Ryan Anderson. I don't think it is. This is all kind of tied into this frontal system that's going to go up Upper Gulf tomorrow. It could eventually reach us on Friday, but it's kind of the tail end of this frontal line that's kind of just pulling itself up. So not 100% sure really what's going on with it. It doesn't look like it's coming to Florida. No, our best chance of rain is going to be Friday, as we have a frontal line approaching. So yeah, no worries on that. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. Right now, everybody's in Texas is feeling it. That's for sure. Let's look at some long range. So there you go. There's what we're looking at. It's Weather Nerds. Great satellite, by the way. You can also go to Weather Nerds and see visible satellite, which is great. Visible satellite ought to really show you some of these bubbling cloud tops here. Let's take a look at that. Bubble, 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 bubble. As sunlight. Those little yellow dots are lightning, by the way. Somebody asked me one time, what's a lightning? I got a cool lightning map, too, on the page. Let's see what that, and I'll turn it up. This is up. Turn it up. Here's the lightning map. Let's turn it up. Let's see what it sounds like, because it'll be really active. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. 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 Lightning. Look. Here we go. Ready? Listen. Here we go. Hear it. I hear dogs snoring. The lightning just stopped. Oh, there's one. There's another one. That's a cool map. Brownsville getting it right now. Do we have anybody in Brownsville? The power of the internet. Who's from Brownsville right now? Because you're getting hit with a pretty good little storm right now. Brownsville, Texas. Anybody Brownsville, Texas in the house? Jamie's from Sugar Land. All my exes live in Texas, Jim. We should do like singing, what's the line next? Oh, my. Something about Tennessee. But I ride myself in Tennessee. Hey, Chloe, good to see you from Texas, Southeast Texas. Glad you're watching. Appreciate that. Six hurricanes. Will we placing bets? Stephanie Stokes asks. How about Panama, man? You got the first part of Invest 90 the other day. So let's take a look at radar, and then we're going to cut it short. So here's the tropical maps. Obviously, everything is really shaping up that we're going to see our first storm of the season right here coming. Big question will be if anything energy pops off into the bay. Starting to see a few models saying there's a chance. Not hyping anything up, just letting everybody know that's a possibility. This is 3-day surface charts here. This 2 days, 48 hours. I don't really think that our wave here is the one that's juicing up our low. This is another low coming here off the monsoon trough. Our tropical waves here. So, again, 8-9 days. This will be a question mark. But in the short term, we're going to be watching that into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. All right, so let's look at some long-range radar. Let's see what everybody's going to get. Everybody's watching that southeast blob. Let's take a look at future radar. We should be able to go forward ahead at least only 1 hour. What? No, it's already done a bunch. All right. Ooh, all right. So here's our blob. Ooh, man, HRR is doing a good job with it. All right, look at that. HRRR. I got to show you this though real quick. All right, so seriously though, we got some flooding issues. So your 24-hour rain forecast today, that's a lot of rain in 24 hours here. This is several inches of rain in Texas northward. This is just one-day rain totals. We also have it lingering here on the East Coast, North Carolina north. So we could have some flooding potential on the eastern, which is great because eastern North Carolina needed this rain. They were in a drought. So heavy rain, 24-hour rain impacts today from this lingering line. Remember, we just got this weird line, frontal line, that's kind of sitting here. It eventually gets pushed on out of here by the weekend. But 24-hour rains are there. 5-day, let's look at tomorrow rains. That was today's rains. Tomorrow's rains are here. Big rains tomorrow. This is day 2. This is Wednesday rains. Look at that heavy 24-hour rain totals. 3, 4, 5 inches possible from Louisiana, Mississippi. Okay, that's big rain tomorrow. Thursday rains, starting to see that frontal line take shape. Good shot for Thursday rains here. Friday rains starts to peter out. And then on Saturday, just South Florida, a little bit left over, and then normal stuff on Sunday. But as far as flooding goes, this is where we got to worry about today. So yellow, slight chance of flooding in the yellow areas. Quite a big area. We got the slight risk for flooding here, Eastern Carolina, Virginia. Now tomorrow, unfortunately, we got a red area here for Tennessee. Got to keep an eye on that for sure. We got a lot of mountains, foothills. So we got to pay attention to that. Red moderate flooding chance tomorrow. So that could be a big story. So if you got anybody in that area, make sure they know that we got a lot of rain coming tomorrow. Could be some flooding to worry about tomorrow. And then on Thursday, let's see what the 3-day outlook looks like. A little bit more in Tennessee here in the mountains on Thursday. Rains. That's flooding potential maps. But we were starting to talk about the future radar. And that is here. So here's our blob really getting picked up on by our HRRRRR. This is a good job by the HRRRRR. But look at this. All right, so everybody wants to know where the blob is going. Well, here we're going to find out together. It's going to slide itself up into Louisiana, possibly. That's tonight. This is afternoon tonight. So that is a chance that this thing could keep some energy up and maybe get some surprise storms for lower Louisiana and eastern Texas later this afternoon and later tonight. So that's tonight, right there. Boom, tonight. Afternoon tonight. And then this is technically tonight right there. So this is afternoon, mid-afternoon. So that's kind of where you kind of see where the flow's going. Overnight tonight, there's a line setting up. Could be a line of storms through Texas. Lots of juice out here. This is overnight tonight. Getting into overnight hours into Wednesday. Here's midnight. Look at that big old line coming through Texas. So things are going to get rocky in Texas tonight. Big line of storms overnight tonight. Nearing Dallas. So this is important. This is overnight tonight. Dallas in the dusk hours will have an approaching line of storms, and unfortunately, there could be some tornadoes with this. So this will be an overnight event. It looks like for Texas, Oklahoma, as this thing builds tonight. And then look at that line tomorrow. Holy cow! This is 3 a.m. Very interesting line of storms overnight tonight. Look at that sucker setting up. San Antonio. Wow. Man, if that happens, that's a Direco type of a storm right there. Look at that Boeing effect. This is tomorrow, 6 a.m. Wow. All right, well, there you go. This is tomorrow morning. Holy cow. Could be a good line of storms all the way from northern Louisiana to southern Texas tomorrow morning. Look at that. Out ahead of it, we're starting to get some storms tomorrow morning for the upper Gulf, Florida Panhandle tomorrow morning. And then all this starts to get wrapped up around a low pressure frontal line. This is tomorrow afternoon, Wednesday. There's our frontal line starting to set up. And man, we just got a lot of stuff happening here. So here's Wednesday midnight. There's our next line here in Louisiana. My goodness. Another line of storms Thursday morning, 7 a.m. Man. And there you go. It stops at 48 hours. Look at this. So much going on, man. And we're not even talking about the Gulf of Mexico yet. So, wow. Lots of. And look at the spin. It all happens here because of the low pressure. And, man, that's fascinating. Watch the spin. See that? Look at that. See that spin right there? So there you go. And you can see that on the surface charts. I always like to go to surface charts and you'll start to see kind of what's happening. Here's that low with our frontal line. So we'll probably get a really good look at it too if we look at the Euro precipitable water. Let's just go to United States here and take a look at see if it shows up on this. Yeah, it kind of does. See that? See the little spin here? This is midweek Wednesday, Thursday. So there's our middle U.S. low pressure system that's going to create all this rain and havoc. I feel like I'm the Liberty guy or the Allstate havoc. So this, yeah, man, we're gonna have a lot to watch, man, on this little guy here. I'll tell you what, I'm a little wondering what we're gonna get here. Let's see if we can see some supercell composites. Oh man, there's the storms overnight. That's tomorrow. Jeez, be some big storms down in Texas tomorrow night. Look at that. This is tomorrow. This is tonight, in the midnight hours. That's that big line we're showing overnight developing here tonight. I'm going to post that HRR because that's a lot of weather coming up in the next 2 days that's going to affect a lot of people. Got to keep an eye on it. So, all right, what else we talk about? Cold front going through. That's right, Telford. Hey, what's up, Karen? St. Croix, Virgin Islands. Won't be long. We'll be talking about you guys, tropical waves. Not a lot going on that way right now. Got a little juice down there. Did you ever get any of that rain? Remember last week you guys were asking. I was like, it might go to your south a little bit. There's a couple little bubbles out here. There's your trade. This is your flow usually early in the season. This stuff's a little too far to the south. So you guys are kind of in this big old dry pocket. Monsoon trough a little low right now. You can see the juice coming off. There's some people talking about the juice coming off Africa, kind of early season monsoonal activity coming off of Africa. It could indicate a little more main development region, but this is still pretty far south. And we did get that wave last week, turned up into Invest 90. Very interesting. But still a little too far south to give the islands any rainfall or tropical activity. Usually this thing needs to pull up a little bit more. There's your trough. Usually the trough is about right here, like right around there. Right now it's a little far south. So, man, Hunter's snoring big time. You hear him? All right, what else we talk about? All right, Jamil Rooney, have a great day up there. Mayhem, not havoc. What else we have to talk about? Don't forget cruise. Yep, Shelly's all over that. Got a little rain. Cool, just a little rain. Good. So remember, next Thursday I'll be in Kansas. Well, I'm flying to Kansas City, but we're going to do the OSR retreat, talking hurricanes next week, and then we are taking a family vacay middle part of June, so there better not be anything the week of June. Vicky, see you, Conehead. Bill Lauderdale, what's up over there on YouTube? Remember, we're streaming live on Twitter too. Twitter numbers are getting really, really high. So if you're watching over on Twitter, appreciate that. I try to post the same content on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook now. And I made a tropical update page if you haven't joined. Hey, Tammy, yep, can't wait to come. I'm excited. I think I'm bringing my new laptop. I'm finally going to break down, get a little smaller one, and and I'm going to make a couple new slides. I want to talk about loop currents and loop eddies. I love my little thing. I tend to get a little hyperactive because there's so much to talk about. So we're going to talk a lot about this rapid intensification and the warm Gulf and how it really isn't influenced by El Nino or La Nina, in my opinion. These rapid developing systems is a trend that seems like lately, and these long track systems are very uncommon the last couple of years. So we'll see about that. But there you go. There's Tammy's company, OSR. They've been big supporters of our page for many, 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 many years. They have a lot of linemen that work for them that follow our site. And they're your storm response partner. And they're the first ones on the scene after there's a big hurricane or any natural disaster, for that matter. Look at that. 250 years leadership. Like I talked a lot about it yesterday. I don't want to say it again. I didn't sound like a broken record, but the post-storm recovery is such a huge part of this whole hurricane process that I didn't even knew existed. Especially, media. A lot of people, everybody focuses on landfall and then they go on to the next story. But man, it's the rebuilding of a system after a storm. And getting, everybody's lives back together, businesses back running again, roads cleared, getting people back to their homes, and taking care of the linemen and the workers that are there, getting all this done. Where do they stay at, and how do you take care of them? And so it's a huge process, getting life back together that a lot of folks just don't understand. We all talk about the storm as it's coming. We don't talk about what happens after the storm and how many people are still, dealing with the after effects, especially, I got video from Hurricane Laura 6 months later, man, in Lake Charles. That was just like, it just happened yesterday. It was so bad. I mean, every street corner, every street, every yard, every roof, everybody was affected. It was amazing. And that was in January after Hurricane Laura hit. So lots of work. We don't wish it on anybody, but there's a lot of great people set up ready to tackle these things when they do happen, and they're going to happen. You can't stop them. There's a good map on my site. T-minus 50 minutes, by the way, when we get our new hurricane outlook from NOAA. That's the big one. That's the one that gets shared by everybody. That'll make all the news, and it'll be like this: above average season expected. Oh my gosh, let the hype begin. We did not get an early season system either, by the way. I was probably more guilty than anybody. It's very likely we'll get a system. We get an early season system, everybody's like, it's going to be a very active year. Now we didn't get one. Now we're going, the season's going to be dead. Let's talk major hurricanes. 30 years. Wow, that's good numbers. I don't think these are updated, though. Darn it. Let me see. This is through 2010. Gosh, old data. Man, I wish we could get a new one. activity's definitely increased a little bit more the last 10 years. But this graphic shows you the amount of years that a storm passed, I think, within 50 miles of any given location. So where I'm at, every 10 years we get a hurricane close enough to affect us. Down South Florida, every 6 years, every 7 years. Louisiana, every 7 years, 8 years. North Carolina, 5, 6, 7 years. Now, if anybody was overdue, obviously it's the Florida Peninsula and the Carolina coast. If anybody was technically due. Again, this data doesn't include the last 12 years, 11 years. So there's a lot of storms since then. But it just gives you an idea, the hot spots and, the most frequency of where storms go. And, obviously, as you get storms coming, holy cow, that sucker zoomed in pretty good. Can you get my little button to work? Let's see here if I can close my little button. Hang on. Let's turn off the extension for my drawing and turn it back on again. Let's see if it works now. Boom. All right, there she is. All right. So the frequency of I can't get it. It's either that or that. All right. So obviously South Florida. Man, look at my little button got tiny too. Anyway, all right. So there's South Florida. We get a lot of storms curving up this way, unfortunately. We get a lot of storms that do that, and that's why Carolinas are clipped. Most of the storms after here end up going out there. That's why these areas aren't highly likely, for repeat storms over the years. We do get the occasional storm like Sandy that runs into a high pressure system and turns itself up, and that's typically how these systems happen. Later season storms that are affected by high pressures, and they turn themselves up a little bit more. So yeah, the general pattern, that's why South Texas isn't really in the highlighted list. But most of these curve upwards, and it's interesting right here though, 13, 14. That doesn't really make sense. That little spot. This makes sense for sure. The Big Bend area, yes, and this definitely makes sense here, and I'll tell you why. So most of the time, the reason this area here is because most storms do that. And we usually have a high pressure system here, so it's kind of unlikely a storm is going to go that way because the way that the high pressure is set up. This typically the high pressure systems allow a system to curve around it. So it's not really likely to see an impact head on middle part of the state. Doesn't mean it can't happen. It just doesn't usually happen. And the same thing here. Early season systems that develop down in the Caribbean tend to turn based on approaching fronts. And they really don't form here because down here is the Yucatan. So all the systems here generally turn northeast, so they kind of miss the Big Bend area. And then the Big Bend area here doesn't really get summer storms because most of the time, they're coming in at an angle, kind of missing. The same thing that goes here. Most of the time, the storms are getting pulled up. So there's a Coriolis effect. I can't ever say the damn thing. Hurricanes have a natural pull to the north. Coriolis. God, I got Beavis and Butthead in my head now. Cornholio. Oh, I got to Google it now. I don't sound so dumb. Oh, let's see. Coriolis effect. I just don't know how to say it. Coriolis effect. There we go. Let's see if I can find a good image of it. Let's see. There's a lot of images on here. Let's see if I can pull one over here. Let me do Coriolis effect hurricanes. How did you do? There's a bunch, but nothing I like. There's all kinds of well, here's what I'm looking at. Coriolis affect hurricanes, but they have a natural tendency because of the equator and because the top of the earth is smaller circumference than the middle part of the earth. They just have a natural pattern of wanting to go back north and back east. So that's why we see that. So generally, storms want to pull to the north and then back to the east, generally. Unless you get an unfortunate deal like Harvey and get a big blocking high pressure here and the system just stops, has nowhere to go. High pressure here, and there was just nowhere for Harvey to go, and it just sat there waiting for an opening. Because remember, low pressures cannot pass through high pressures. That's all the steering mechanisms in the world. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at why the crossover effect could be happening here down the road. Let's go back to Tropical Tidbits. We'll take a look at upper level winds and see exactly why there's a chance that we could see a crossover. So likelihood, this is what we're going to see. I haven't even looked yet, but probably have a little high pressure here that's going to kind of stop it, and we're going to have a weakness here, low pressure, that's going to allow an opening possibly to the north, and that would be how we get a crossover. So you can kind of start to see signs of it here, and there's a general pole. It doesn't really show East Pacific. Let me see if I can get over here to the Eastern Pacific a little more. This is 500 millibar level, but you not really. We can see a little building high pressure here down, not very strong, but enough that it's going to feel that weakness and pull to the north. That's the outside chance that this thing crosses over. And again, this would be next Wednesday. Euro showing, that's the 6Z. We got to go to 00Z. Euro showing same little bit of high pressure building in here to the west, and this is going to allow maybe a little bit of energy crossing up through Mexico. You know, Euro does really good with the upper air patterns. So that's, you know, and then the Canadians, we can take a look at that, see what the upper level airflow looks like, and doesn't really do much with the crossover. The Icon does, though, I think. I really like the Icon model. It does a very good job a lot. This is, I don't think we got upper. We do have 500 millibar. And the Icon's starting to suggest crossover. This is next Tuesday morning. It stops out 180 days, but start to see a little crossover possibly on the Icon. See that? So interesting. This, you know, it's always something to watch. Not a forecast, but it's a pattern. Pattern by more than just one model. So, anyway, that's all. Renee's still cleaning up for Michael. I can believe it. I was up there during went to Mexico Beach last September. Was that Labor Day? I can't remember what holiday is that. Labor Day or I can't remember. But we were up there anyways. Jenny's Davis late. Hey, you can go back and watch it. Mike Soul, what's up? I always think of shoes when I see your name. Oh man, yeah, Mark. Harvey made no sense how it could have rained, and it was over a loop current. Loop eddy, definitely fueled Harvey. And like I said, I'm kind of anxious. I want to put together a slide on. Let's see. Here's a article. First one I found. High octane hurricane fuel in the Gulf, 2 loop currents. Hey, here's my article I wanted. Full article. So let's see. Just showing you the progression of, see the loop current. This is how loop currents break off. Remember last year we were watching a lot about this. Loop currents are usually kind of low, but then they get up there. And remember Ida wrote it, and then they break off, and they end up little spinners, and then they drift around. And that's kind of what they theorized Harvey did, is it broke off and it ended up over there. So here's your, yeah, see, it makes sense. There's your loop, Hurricane Harvey's loop eddy. Look at that. Man, everything I needed right here. Loop current breaks off, turns into a little spinner, and then they drift around. They're little rivers. They're little rivers inside the Gulf of Mexico that actually spin. They're little spinners. But this is ocean heat content, and it drifted up a little bit, and unfortunately Harvey parked over it and just fueled off of that loop current, loop eddy. Eddy is a spinner, current is the current. But this we watched it all last year, and we're going to watch it this year. Last year we were kind of joking, when is it ever going to break off? So if you ever watch the history of like the Mississippi River, you get these meandering bends, and they end up breaking off, and you get a new river flow. And you're starting to see it here. Look, I mean, you can kind of see it a little bit. This is your loop current, and it's extremely long into the Gulf. This is, last year Ida rode right up this sucker, and it's extra warm water below the surface. That's basically what it is. It's all warm water below the surface. And what happens is these break off, and they end up being their own little circles. And then this little guy is going to form a new little current, and we'll have a new Gulf Stream. And ultimately, this little sucker here will probably drift somewhere. They don't really know. They just kind of float around and do whatever they want. So that's the evolution of a loop eddy. There's a bunch of fuel over here now spinning. These little areas right here. And you can really pick up on them on this ocean heat content map as the season gets going. You'll see these little pockets of warm water starting to develop. And I got other maps that are better than this, but I don't think they're live right now because there's no storms. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait for some of these to get activated. We'll see. These are all my little fun little map sites here. I'm gonna see if this one will really be a good one once we have a storm. This tropics Wisconsin EDU. Julie's texting me. And that usually means trouble. But all right, we'll see what she says. All right. So hey, Rose from OSR. Hey, Rose. Yeah, we're looking forward to coming out and seeing you guys. So that'll be a cool thing. I'll be anxious to chat and meet everybody out there. Good morning, Greg Montgomery. You're always chiming in at the end, dude. Looked like Jason had a good little show there. Was it in Tucson last weekend? It looked pretty good. Looked like it got windy, according to some of his video out there. So I hope that went well for you. Hope you're doing good, buddy. But all right, Mark, you're late. That's all right. We'll be doing it again tomorrow. Hey, Kathy Kitchens, how's it going? Good to see ya. There you go. Cool. Be good. Anything else? Talked for an hour. All right, so we'll see you tomorrow. So basically, we're watching the blob. I don't know this. So it looks like this is going to get pulled into Louisiana and even back into Texas later today. We have an interesting line coming through tonight that I'm going to have to showcase. Very interesting line of storms coming tonight that could be interesting to watch. And then on Wednesday, Thursday, this whole general area here, another line of storm. A lot of weather coming up in the next 2 days. Friday, things peter out as our frontal line loses some punch, and pretty good weekend for everybody. So that's good news. But anyway, all right. Sandra, yeah, last I heard was that big bad tornado I showed. It was in western Texas. Didn't affect much. It was at least in a rural area. I don't want to say it didn't affect anybody, but it wasn't in a very large populated area. Put it to you that way, at all. So yeah, how about that? We'll leave it with our buddy Furman here. He's chiming in, saying hi. It is hurricane season. So now is the time to start shopping around, and definitely give our friends at Furman a good look here, as they have supported us through the years and make some amazing products. And they have the best customer service in the galaxy, with a full staff there ready to help you out. So can't get that from everybody, that's for sure. And generally good guys that love supporting the weather community and more. And they sponsored our high school team for the girls. Appreciate that. So, all right, we'll see everybody tomorrow. I just got a new box of sticker mules. I got 3,000 of these little guys to give out. I met a lady yesterday at the East Lake Little League. I gave her some. So if you ever see me out and about, grab some stickers. We're trying to plaster the planet full of Mike's Weather Page stickers. And if you're ever in Daytona at the Boot Hill Saloon, there's a few of them on the walls. Right, Greg? All right, have a great day. We'll see everybody. We got tacos tonight. I'll post a picture. BOGO Taco Beer Night. So we'll see y'all.